Hey everybody, Motorpoet 59 here. Well, it looks like Russia has finally invaded Ukraine. I like the way the State Department is characterizing it as a minor invasion. Wonder if a foreign military were to invade Rhode Island or Connecticut or something like that, New Hampshire, I wonder if they would consider that a minor invasion. I think not. The president of Ukraine, Zelensky, I can't remember his first name. I'm surprised I remember his last name. He called this. He called this a couple of days ago when Kamala Harris was out there talking about sanctions that hadn't happened yet. Sanctions that were supposed to have already happened, but they held off on in hopes of diplomacy working. Hey, I hope diplomacy would work too, but it didn't, and he called it. And it's his country. For me, it's just something I'm sitting here in the office talking about. The threat of sanctions didn't work. And why would they? Putin has nothing to fear from Biden. He knows all about Biden. He's got Biden in his pocket. And now that the cows are out of the barn, Biden is trying to close the door behind him by talking about imposing sanctions right now. Certain sanctions. Hey, if you're going to sanction somebody, sanction the hell out of them. Don't pussyfoot around, because somebody like Vladimir Putin isn't going to care. And now that he has invaded Ukraine, what does he have to fear with sanctions from the United States? He doesn't need our stuff anymore. He has Ukraine's. Ukraine's a huge agricultural, huge in oil. They have a lot of things going for them. And now Putin essentially has them going for him. Does anyone still believe that Biden, by way of his worthless kid and his own stuff too, he used his kid as a pawn? Does anyone still believe that Biden isn't in bed with the Russians? Just saying. Because he is obviously terrified of something by not having taken action sooner. America once had the leverage of energy over Russia and Western Europe, particularly Western Europe, but over Russia too, by not allowing these pipelines from Russia to Europe to be built. They always got involved. We always got involved and kept that from happening. And what did Biden do? Was one of the first things he did when he got in office, after he shut down the Keystone pipeline, he took all the restrictions away and allowed Russia to build pipelines to Western Europe. And now Russia provides around 40% in total of all Western Europe's oil. At 60% of Germany's oil now comes from Russia. They end up going in and taking Ukraine over as a whole. We certainly can't threaten them with energy, because as flimsy as the United States is when it comes to fossil fuels, the rest of the world is really not like that. They want to talk like they are because they want us, United States, to pour a bunch of money, the majority of the money, into the Paris Accords and the Kyoto Accords and the yada yada yadas and the blah blah blahs, while they continue to do whatever they like and spend our money doing it. But nah, Biden isn't in bed with the Russians. There's no connection with them. I believe that at some point this will all come out. A lot of it already came out during the campaign. His son was linked to Russia, and the media, the courts, everybody ignored it. Just kind of like everything that the Clintons have been involved with. Everybody's just ignored that. Everybody's pretended that it didn't happen. And I think the same thing will happen here. Nothing will ever come of it, but at least the facts will be out there at some point, in my opinion. I think we're all about to get really dizzy from all the spinning that the Biden administration is about to do on this, and that we're all about to be disoriented from all the backpedaling that they're going to do on this. But it's not an American problem, which is why we shouldn't be there. We should not be involved. And so far, we're really not, other than with these sanctions. I don't know. I'd like to think that we're not going to put any boots on the ground over there. Maybe fly some satellites over or something. I don't know. But I'm hoping that the Biden administration at least uses their head where this is concerned. The other member nations of the Budapest Memorandum that I spoke of in my, I don't know if it was my last video or the one before, the last video about this. They're all kind of balking on this too, or at least just standing there waiting to see what's going to happen, looking through the blinds. The rest of Europe is definitely not getting involved, and that is worrisome for Ukraine. Should we care? Yeah, we should care because somebody's invading somebody, and that's never good because people are going to die. And we should care because it will have, and if it's already having a huge effect on the stock markets, and in a really, really very, very bad way. The stock markets have really tanked over the last few days. It's not okay with me, but it seems to be okay with the Democrats because, in my opinion, as I have said before, you would have to show me compelling evidence that the Democrats are not trying, or at least the leftists running the Democrat Party right now, aren't trying to intentionally crash the American economy. This is how socialism starts. This is how the government takes all the money away from people and then promises the people that they will give them the money that they lost, or they'll give them the money they now need to survive with. That's how this all starts. And I believe that this is all part of their plan. And they will use whatever means, in my opinion, to see those plans to fruition. It's my opinion. I could be all wet. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and we'll see you all later.